I wanted to become a doctor. I was not selected for medicine, for pharmacy, for dentistry. I was selected for the fourth choice. The fourth choice was the Algerian Petroleum Institute. And that day I cried. I cried with heavy tears.
So Mehdi is no more in medical field, but as you know, he's part of our energy industry, and it happened by luck. But I think
luck, yes.
Whatever happens, it happens for good.
I started from the very, very bottom as a field operator at Qatar Gas 1, the former Qatar Gas 1 facility. Small, mid-scale LNG trains at that time. People will tell you, no, you should not display weakness. No, this is totally wrong. This is totally wrong.
Definitely. And you make fool of yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you tell a lie, sooner or later people will come to know. So it's very, very difficult to hide behind those lies.
Yes. People are talking about alternatives to natural gas, talking about renewables, but natural gas is here to stay. Natural gas is not the bridge for the transition. Natural gas is the transition.
This is the Oil and Gas Breaking Bias show, where we are going to invite industry leaders to talk about their journeys and also technologies of tomorrow in an effort to break some of the biases that might have formed around this energy industry. Hello everyone, I hope you're happy and healthy. I'm Anand Jha and you are listening to the Oil and Gas Breaking Bias show. This is a show about the leaders who have made it big in this energy industry while breaking some of the biases around them. And today I'm very happy because we will be joined by Mehdy Touil, who is a seasoned LNG expert with over 2 decades of experience in natural gas liquefaction and LNG operations. He has worked on many projects across different countries in Algeria, Qatar, Russia, and North America. He is a recognized industry leader with around 100,000 LinkedIn followers, where he shares lots of technology news and also drives discussion. So with that, let's welcome Mehdi. Mehdi, I'm happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
How was everything?
So far, so good. Yes.
And we were discussing you are in Canada. I always thought you are in USA. But
I'm not. I've been covering so much of the US LNG activities and news that people are assuming that I'm based in the US, but actually I'm not. I'm on the east coast of Canada, in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Okay. And actually there are no single LNG project there, so yes.
It's amazing, because you're very much active on social media talking about these LNG news. And as you know, like in North America, lots of things are happening in the LNG world. So same like me, everybody might have assumed you are in the US, but I came to know you're in Canada. As I mentioned, Mehdi has more than 20 years of experience serving this LNG industry. So we have a lot to cover. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Mehdi, can you walk us through your personal and professional life, which help you to reach wherever you are today?
Thank you. So Mehdy Touil, I'm an LNG operations specialist. I'm based in Canada, but I'm Algerian national. I haven't gained Canadian citizenship yet, which is a target for me. I was born in France. I grew up in Algeria. So many people in the industry know well that Algeria has been the birthplace of commercial cargoes for LNG. This is the country where it all started. And from the city of Arzu. And this is the city where I started my LNG journey. So I joined the Algerian Petroleum Institute and I studied LNG operations. That was one of the few curriculum worldwide that teach liquefaction studies. So it was something very interesting. So I spent almost 3 years in that industrial city when I was exposed to liquefaction facilities, huge LNG carriers, which was something very new to me at that time. And unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to work in the LNG industry in Algeria, in my home country, due to various reasons. But I got to work in one of the largest natural gas fields in the world. It's located in the Sahara, in the desert of Algeria. It's called Hassi R'Mel, and it's very well known in the industry. So I spent 4 years working there, even though I graduated in LNG operations, but I didn't have the opportunity to apply and use my knowledge in the desert. I was working in the condensate field. It was very basic, so there was not much learning to do. And one day, this is a funny story. So one day my flight back home was canceled. We used to travel back and forth rotation. Mm-hmm. My flight was canceled and I took a taxi for a very long drive. I think it was more than 16 hours drive from the desert up to my city in the north. And we stopped midway and I wanted to read. So I got a local newspaper and there was an ad with no details, asking for a LNG experience for a Qatari project, a project in Qatar. So first thing I did when I reached home, I sent my CV to the email. There was no reference to which company, what kind of project it was, and applied. And the next day I got a call. It was for the Qatar Gas at that time, before it was changed to Qatar Energy. It was a Qatar Gas project.
Which year was it?
It was in 2005.
2005, okay.
Yes. So I applied, even though I had zero experience. I was selected. I don't know how. It was pure
That
luck.
was the start of their journey, LNG
Yes,
journey.
it was the beginning of my journey, and we did the technical interview in nearby Morocco, in Casablanca. I never been to Morocco before. It was an amazing trip. And funny enough, the first thing they asked me, what's your experience in LNG? I said zero. They asked me, have you worked with gas turbines? I said no. Have you worked with compressors? I said no. From where do you get your instrument? We don't have instrument air. You are using the gas, natural gas from the field for our instrumentation and controlling devices. And they told me straight that, sorry, this is not the kind of expertise we are looking for. This is for a large-scale LNG project, and we need people with LNG experience. One guy, he was, his name is, we not mention his name, but he was a Qatari. He told me, do you know, I don't know how you've been selected, why they invited you to come to this. I told him I graduated in LNG Operations, and I was the first in my group. So he told me, what do you know about LNG operations? I told him I can give you the full profile of the main cryogenic heat exchanger, which is the heart of the liquefaction process. So he threw me a pen and a piece of paper, and he told me, can you show me the MCHE? I said yes, and I gave all the details, and he turned around. There were one Indonesian guy and one Algerian guy, and they told him, yes, that's correct. That's the perfect profile. And he told me something I will never forget. He told me, Mehdi, I will give you a chance to join one of the largest projects on earth in the LNG field, but do not
screw up.
Yes, do not screw up. This is a chance for you. We are taking a chance on you. You have zero experience. And I went to Qatar, and this is where it all started. I started from the very, very bottom as a field operator at Qatar Gas 1, the former Qatar Gas 1 facility, small, mid-scale LNG trains at that time. And I joined Qatar when it was shifting from a small-scale operator to the largest operator in the industry. So it was a long learning journey. But I got lucky because I really started from the bottom, and I got exposed to all those huge expansion. This is truly where I learned my skills in LNG. And I spent 11 years, amazing years in Qatar. And I will never. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for my home country who gave me the opportunity to join the LNG industry. But I'm grateful for Qatar Gas for giving me the opportunity to learn and excel at LNG operations. I left when I left Qatar Gas almost 11 years after, in 2017. I left as a panel operator, so I was in the control room. And the control room of Qatar Gas is probably the largest control room in the world for LNG operations. You have mega trains, you have small trains, you have huge facilities. And it was an amazing learning experience. But I reached a point where I wanted to discover more. So I applied to join the Cove Point LNG project in the US, in Maryland. And the interview was like a piece of cake. It was really nice. It was a 3 hours interview with the guys. I'm still in contact with them. Amazing people at Cove Point. Unfortunately, I could not secure my H-1B visa for various reasons. So this is one of the bias, the early bias.
Struggle of lots of immigrants.
Struggle, I faced. So my friends were selected, but because I don't know, I will not comment on the decision, but I was like kind of a security issue to them. I came with a lot of question marks. I can understand that. I would not try to hide the facts. This is true. So I like to joke that if you cannot be accepted in the US, you have to go to the opposite. So I went to the extreme opposite, and I joined the Yamal LNG project in Russia.
Yeah.
So from the US straight to Russia.
Project,
yes. This is one of the largest and most challenging projects ever. And it was a huge success. It was a success because of the really multinational composition of the startup team, of the amazing people that work there, and the project developer Novatec put all the ingredients for the project to be a success, and it worked pretty well. We worked with Australians, French, Algerian, Malaysians, Americans, all together to make this project one of the most successful projects It was challenging. It was tough. Imagine working in Qatar when temperature is plus 40 degrees Celsius, moving to the Arctic Russia when temperature, as remember, minus 46 degrees Celsius. It was a huge shock.
Huge difference. Yeah.
Yes.
And
From a culture, yes, from a cultural perspective.
I can add there. Like I had the same experience. So I also worked in Qatar, and
Yes.
before moving to Canada, before I moved to Canada, they asked me, there's a minus 40 here, and you know how it feels. I never felt minus 40, but I have felt plus 50.
Yes. So that
Another extreme.
yes,
please continue.
you cannot picture, you cannot imagine
No.
minus 40, even minus 20, minus 30. People always say, I have Canadians, they told me, yes, we know mine. No, I'm talking about working in those conditions. This
Yes,
is totally
definitely. It's different. It's
Living
totally
and working is totally different. So
totally
it was really challenging. And we went through COVID, the rotations. We were working 28 days on, 28 days off rotations. I was living in Moscow with my family. We moved to Moscow. A lovely city, beautiful. It was a beautiful life, really. I really loved my time in Russia. But when the events, the invasion of Ukraine started, a lot of things changed for expatriates living in Russia. And me and my wife, we decided that our time in Russia has ended against our will. And we decided that it was time to move to try something else. So I applied for immigration to Canada, and I'm a native French speaker. So I immigrated to Canada through the French speaking stream, which made the things much more easier for me, despite my age, because of course, if you want to go to move to Canada, you have to apply at a very early age to get more points. Yes. So I was beyond that ideal age, but thanks to me and my wife, we speak perfect French, so it helps a lot. And I landed in Canada in 2022, so just after the invasion of Ukraine. So it was a bit of a struggle because there were two projects in Nova Scotia. So the Goldboro LNG project,
yes,
and the Bearhead LNG project. So as I landed, both projects were cancelled, unfortunately, due to various reasons. But I found myself stuck I wouldn't say stuck. I was really welcome in Nova Scotia, but part of me migrating to moving to Nova Scotia was I needed to stay in Nova Scotia. I cannot work in other provinces. So there was nothing else to do. And I was in touch with Capstone Industrial Training Solution. So it's a company that provides LNG training solution for operations. So exactly what I was doing. And I have been in touch with them way before I moved to Canada, since I was in Russia. And they immediately took me under their wings, and they helped me transition to as a new immigrant, as a new permanent resident in Canada. They helped me a lot. We never forget that. And it went through another direction. So from shift work for more than 20 years, it became a remote work supporting LNG projects across the world, but mainly in the US, in Mexico, in Angola. So an amazing journey. And after that, Capstone was acquired by a leading engineering company based in Vancouver, Solaris.
Solaris, okay. Yes, Solaris, I know very
Solaris, well. It's very well known in Canada, and they expanded. Now they are in the US. They're based in Houston as well. And very much embedded in the amazing growth and the expansion of US LNG. So for me, there is no shortage of action in terms of LNG. So I'm still within the LNG industry. I do miss shift operations because I've been doing that for 20 years. But to be honest, I have no plan to go back to shift operations.
Yes, it's different. It's different.
Yes, it's different. So I'm in a position now where I can help mentor people, share my knowledge, share my expertise with new operators, and this is an amazing feeling to be in such a position to help others.
I can imagine. Going back to your journey, like when you moved from Algeria to Qatar, and you are talking about that individual who made that decision to take you or to make you part of that big project, even though you didn't have the required
yes.
I will say skills at that time, what they're looking for. And that's amazing because that person need that kind of courage. And sometimes we see not many people have that courage. Can you talk a little bit more about it?
Yes, I got this from my late father. If you don't know, just say you don't know. So it's still helping me until now. So if I don't know something, I will raise my hand. I will say, sorry, I don't know. Can you explain it to me? People sometimes can be shy or feeling not confident enough to say they don't know. But if I ask you, I come to you and I will tell you, do you know about this equipment? And you say, I know, yes, I know. Rest assured that I will never come back again to you and tell you something about that equipment because you told me that you know. So I won't share anything with you. But if you come with this modest and humble approach that you raise your hand and you say in a very open manner, you say that you don't know, people will be more than willing to teach you, to share with you their knowledge. And this attitude, this approach has served me well during my 2 decades in the industry. And this is when I am mentoring new operators, this is the first thing that I tell them. Whatever you know, whatever expertise and skill you have, if somebody is coming willingly, openly willing to share something with you, let him talk. Even if you know what he's about to talk about, you don't know. Maybe you will learn something new. Maybe you will revise, you will review your own perspective, but always listen. And never say, I know. This is very bad approach in learning.
Yes. But so you think like your honesty might have impressed him and giving you that opportunity?
Yes, because they took a chance on me, and he was quite happy with my way of learning. I met him afterwards, and he became a friend. So yes,
that's
I'm
great.
grateful for the opportunity, really.
But that's a good learning for everyone. Like what I'm saying, like, don't make stories.
No.
Be upfront. If you don't know, you don't know.
Yes.
And as Mehdi said, there are many people around you. They're willing to help you, but you have to ask for that help.
Yes. Be humble.
Be humble. Definitely.
Yeah, I worked with people that they had at that time, they have 20 years in LNG. I was new. I had zero experience. And they were openly saying, yes, I don't know this. Please help me. I don't know. And people, even though they have 20 years in LNG, they are not familiar with that process. They are not familiar with that technology. They are not familiar with that piece of equipment. So this is the way how you progress into your career. People will tell you, no, you should not display weakness. No, this is totally wrong. This is totally wrong.
Definitely. And you make fool of yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if you tell lie, sooner or later people will come to know.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to hide behind those lies.
Yes.
That's great. So switching a topic here, as we have said, you have spent around 20 years in this industry. What changes do you see today?
So in terms of technology, I haven't seen a big change in technology because it's been incremental. There is no revolution really in the liquefaction technology. It is mostly related to other supporting systems. So we have seen the big upgrades in automation, in process control, AI entering the game. But at the core of in training and learning systems also, we have seen the introduction of AR and VR systems to support training journeys. But the most dramatic change I have seen is the growth and the expansion, the explosion of US LNG project. This is something that have changed the landscape of the LNG industry, and we will continue to do that for the next, I would say, next decade or more. Coming from a country that was fully reliant on LNG imports, turning to a largest exporter, more than Qatar, already more than Qatar. This is amazing. It's amazing. It comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of struggles, really on the providing the right expertise to support all those projects. But this is amazing to witness, and I'm really deeply involved into that growth, and this is something amazing to witness.
And I can say that natural gas is not going anywhere.
No, absolutely.
As a transition fuel, and this transition is going to be there for many years to come.
Absolutely, yes.
And so I always say, like, if you are not part of this industry, become a part of this industry. If you're already part of the industry, and then go and join it, go and enjoy more.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
This industry is not going anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
And you already talked about how industry is going to sustain for longer. But if somebody wants to enter today in this industry, what would be your recommendation?
So I would say that the approach is quite different from countries to countries. If you want to join a project, let's say in Qatar, one of the requirements would be to have a prior LNG experience. Mm-hmm. And I'm receiving daily requests from operators, people wanting to join the LNG business, the LNG industry, in different capacities, in different disciplines. Just for you to know that I think there is no LNG project developer that would take a chance on someone not having enough experience in the LNG business. That it can sound counterintuitive, because at one stage you cannot expect to find everyone having that kind of knowledge, of expertise.
Yes.
But for big projects, this is what they will be asking. They will be asking for LNG expertise. So your best chance, and this is what it is, I'm sorry to say that, but it is to start with joining the industry within your own country. So if you don't have LNG industry, an LNG project in your country, it is extremely difficult. Yes. You can join if you are, I would say, in process control or ICSS or mechanical engineering. Maybe you can come from other ways. But if you want to join as in operations, which is the core business of the LNG industry, it's extremely difficult to do it without having at least, I would say, 5 years of experience in the LNG industry. They took a chance on me, but I was an exception. This is not a rule. There is in the US a lot of opportunities. I have seen that many new project developers are hiring. There are no requirements of having previous former experience in the LNG industry. So this is a chance for my US friends to join the industry. Yes.
But if you're coming from different country, then you have to go through that immigration process.
Yes.
So that could be the hurdle. So even though there is
that is becoming extremely difficult.
Definitely.
So I have been in the industry for more than 20 years. I have a lot of experience. I've been involved in so many projects. I won't call myself an expert, but I'm good at what I do. But one of the most challenging things I'm facing right now is my lack of mobility because of my passport.
Yes.
Wherever I go, I need to apply for a visa. The application process, I have nothing against visas. I have nothing against the process. People are calling it discrimination or something like that. No. Every country has its own rules. I have nothing to comment on that. But my biggest challenge right now is my passport. I cannot travel. Whenever I apply for a visa, it will take weeks. I need to travel just to apply for a visa. It comes with a lot of costs associated, the application, all these things.
I know.
And it's a struggle because I get many opportunities. In the last month, I got 3 opportunities to travel to 3 different countries. I would not name them. But I could not go because of my passport. Yes.
Yeah, so there's some things in your hand, as you were mentioning, like to accumulate the knowledge about LNG or maybe something similar to LNG.
Yes.
But there are other things which is not in your hand.
No, it's out of my control, unfortunately. And when I talk to my US counterparts, I told them that there is so much expertise. Yes, I understand you want to promote everything American. You want Americans, citizens to get jobs first, but you cannot start an LNG project without expertise. Yes. And this expertise, it's available in the US, but you won't find it.
Definitely, It's available in the US, and also it's very global. Like as you have mentioned, like there are mega projects in Qatar. I still meet people who worked on that Qatar project 10 years ago.
Absolutely, yes.
So that's how these projects are global. And from outside, it looks a very big community. But when you come closer, it's not that big. It's this very small community.
We all know each other. I have friends in almost every single LNG project in the industry.
Definitely.
And there is huge competition to hire LNG expertise.
Definitely.
There is not enough LNG expertise available in the market. And the project developers are willing to pay top dollar to bring them. So if you are looking to travel a lot, and to get a very good income, yes, LNG business, LNG operations is a good industry to join now.
And join now and for many years.
Yes, and for many years to come, because
for many
LNG expertise, it's not. There are other large scale industry, petrochemical, refining, fertilizers. But if I tell you how many, I will just throw random numbers. But I can tell you that there are hundreds of thousands of operators in the refining industry.
Yes, you're right.
But how many of them are available to work in the LNG industry? Yeah. Very few. Yes.
Very few, definitely. So you're listening. If you're not part of this industry, try to be part of this industry.
Absolutely.
Just switching a topic here. Let's go back to your LinkedIn community, and I'm also part of that community. So I get lots of good information. But I would just want to know how and when you have started that community and how it helped you to grow as a person or also as a professional.
Yes, my LinkedIn journey has been nothing short of amazing. I opened my LinkedIn account in 2014. I was still in Qatar. It was just to reach out to my friends, my local friends in Qatar Gas. I was just trying. And I remember one day I posted a comment about LNG and I saw people liking my comment. So I thought that, hey, I have a voice. People are listening to me.
Yeah.
It was people with, leaders at that time in the LNG industry, people I would not dare to criticize or comment against them or something like that. When I saw them liking my post, I understood that there is some kind of gaps. We are all in this industry, liquefaction industry, but we are segmented.
Yes.
You have people from the trading world, you have people from the operations, you have people from construction, from EPC side, you have people from different segments that they work together to the same goal, but we don't speak to each other. If you ask me 10 years ago how LNG was priced, I would tell you that I have no idea. I have no clue. What is dollar per MMBTU? Now I'm in the opposite position. I recently joined the Calypso Commodities. It's a software development company based in Germany. They are providing optimization software for portfolio management, for shipping, for the LNG industry. Very well advanced in AI and machine learning processes. This is something new. I'm coming from the other side of the fence. I'm coming from the plant, from the liquefaction plant. And now I'm very much exposed to the trading, to the shipping segment of the LNG industry. And through my journey on LinkedIn, I came to know that we don't talk to each other. Traders, they have no idea. They will bet billions on, on the Freeport LNG tripping or Bintulu LNG Malaysia tripping. But they have no clue. Believe me, there was one comment that one trader, he didn't know where Bintulu LNG was located. Bintulu belongs to Petronas, and Petronas is one of the top 4 exporter of LNG industry. And you are playing with billions of dollars on this data without knowing where it is located. So it was a shock to me. But again, it came back to me that if the traders come to me and ask me what is dollar per MMBTU, I say I have no clue. So through this journey, I became a voice, not only for the LNG operations community, but a bridging voice between all those actors that are shaping this amazing community that is the LNG industry. And I'm very much in touch with the trading community, with the research, business intelligence analysts from all over the globe. We talk every single day. We analyze projects. If they have questions about the technicality, why this facility is down, what is a gas turbine, why do they need another gas turbine, what's compressor, is it critical, is it not, and vice versa. What slope you are pricing that contract on, why, what is the data you are receiving, all those things that 10 years ago were a really foreign language to me. I could not understand a thing. Yes.
So I could hear that help you to grow as a person as well, and accumulate a lot of knowledge outside your core network.
Yes, I was not aware of that, of my presence, the weight of my voice on LinkedIn until I got. So, I have been in the industry for 20 years. I never had the opportunity to attend a single industry event, conference, seminar, anything. Never. Because why? I like to tell that I was busy making LNG.
Yes.
Why you guys were sipping tea or something else at conferences, we were busy making LNG. This is the truth. You will never meet an LNG operator at an LNG conference. They have no time to attend those things. So my first conference, the conference I attended was the LNG 2020 in Vancouver. And it was really an eye-opening experience for me. So people really, I mean it, CEOs coming to me and shaking hands with me and telling me how much they like my insights, my daily updates, because I'm not only curating daily news. I'm introducing my insights, my knowledge as someone who worked in the field. Because you can be a reporter, you can be an analyst, but they do their job. But my job is to put that technical perspective. Yes. And this is what people really appreciate. So when I met influential people, leaders from the LNG industry coming to shake hands with me, and initially I didn't know what to say. And my good friend, Don Haley, told me, Mehdi, what is your passion? I told him my passion is LNG. So people are expecting you to talk about LNG. Then I started to talk about LNG. So now whenever I want to engage in discussion with someone high up, I will talk about LNG, and I can go for hours.
That's great. That's great. But that's really good. Like you are also serving this community, bringing new ideas on the table, and it's a common platform to bring so many people. Like
Yes.
I could see like in some of your posts, like there are lots of discussions are happening in that post. That's what we want as an industry leader.
Yes, absolutely. You want to drive the discussion, but you want to let enough space for people to. This is what I like about LinkedIn. People are saying that LinkedIn is cringe. LinkedIn is turning. It's becoming a new Facebook. No. I'm totally against that. LinkedIn is what you make out of it.
Yes.
If you keep on clicking on dogs pictures or pets pictures, you will get more of that. This is how the algorithm work.
All
But
these algorithms are like that.
yes, if you keep on liking LNG content, you will get more LNG content.
Yes.
So every day, this is something I've been doing for years. When I wake up early in the morning, I go through the news and I go through my feed. If I see something that does not, I have nothing against pets pictures. I have nothing against. But what I will do, it's coming from someone who keeps on posting pets pictures. I will
unfollow.
I will unfollow that person. You have the option to tag that picture and say, I'm not interested in that author, or I'm not interested in that topic. And if you do it on a daily basis and you are consistent, you will train LinkedIn to work for you, not the other way. People are working for LinkedIn. No, it should be the other way. You have to make LinkedIn work for you. You have to train LinkedIn to feed you your interest. In my case, this is LNG. So I do it on a daily basis. If you go through my feed, it's purely LNG.
So algorithm learns about it. But I think that's true for any other social media that we use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either we can waste hours and hours just scrolling through, and that I don't want to use word like crappy stuff, like that might not be adding any value to you.
Yes.
But on the other side, you can train any social media based on your interest. And Mehdi, you were just giving that example. You have trained your LinkedIn feed based on what you like, and you will like to see LNG information, and your feed is trained like that. So also it depends what you want to get out of these social media platforms. But one thing I could say, like the social media platforms has opened lots of new domains, and you are a perfect example. When you have started something in 2014, it started very small, correct?
Yes.
And now over the period, you have around almost 100,000 followers on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So this journey is amazing. But if somebody is listening, if he wants to do the same thing, you can achieve the same results.
Yes.
But you need to be mindful.
People will recognize you for that. Last week, I was selected as one of the leading voices in the commodities. I have nothing to do with commodities. I'm not a commodity. I've never been in the commodities industry. But because I have been covering LNG from all sides, I'm covering the trading, the commercial, the contracts. I'm bringing so much news that many people told me that the first thing they do, they go through my feed, and they look at the news. So I became, not against my will, but without knowing, I became a voice.
Voice of the industry.
Commodity industry, which is surprising to me.
But that's interesting. Like as I was saying, you start somewhere, and then slowly, it's like a onion. Like you're taking one layer out, and something new is coming there. So always there's something new you explore in this journey. But you have to start somewhere.
Yeah,
that's more important. That's bringing me to another interesting question. If you have to relive your journey, what changes you might make?
I wouldn't change anything, because this is what made Mehdi today. I wouldn't change anything. I see not all the mistakes I've done in my life. I wouldn't change anything.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, good to know.
Yes.
And also another question. We talked about this industry a lot, but what one of the bias that still exists today?
So one of the bias really, I would think ageism. So when you see someone, for me, when I see someone within the LNG industry, someone who have more worked maybe 40 years in the LNG industry, I know well that this person has a treasure in his mind in terms of expertise. So I really think that I think this is not different to any other industry. We need to retain that talent. We need to retain those decades of expertise within the industry. Yes, young people are capacity to. I'm still in my 40s, but young people have the capacity to learn faster. They are more adapted to using new technologies. But you need that wisdom from the giants the pioneers who shaped the LNG industry for decades, and they are still alive. And I have mentors, like everyone should do. I have mentors in the US, I have mentors in Japan, I have mentors in Europe, and they are all of them are beyond their 70s. And every time I speak with them, I learn something new. And things that you will not find in manuals or vendor manuals or operating procedures, but that huge amount of knowledge accumulated over decades of, they started when the industry was still nascent, and they faced a lot of issues, and the design of today's facilities is based on their lessons learned from,
Yes.
I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years ago. So if you don't have that knowledge and you don't know that, you will never know what was designed, made in such a way. So by talking to those people and listening to them, you will gain that wisdom. So I think this is one of the biggest biases I've seen in the industry. Yes, getting rid of the old people. Yes.
You hit, I will say, a little bit new point, because in my previous episodes, we talked about the age bias, but it was the other way around, like how
Yes.
young people can take bigger roles. Sometimes
Yes.
they are not considered for those roles with more responsibilities.
Yes.
But thanks for bringing this age bias other way around, like
Yes.
when industry is getting rid of those veterans
Yes.
who has done a lot for this industry, and we can learn from them.
Yes. Another bias. I have been an expatriate my whole life. I was born in France. I grew up in Algeria. I lived in Qatar. I was married in Qatar. I had my 2 kids in Qatar. I moved to Russia. I had another kid in Moscow. I'm in Canada now. So I did almost a full circle around the world, being an expatriate. And now I'm a migrant. This is a bit different, but you always have that apprehension, I would say. I never been in a situation when I faced really fear from the other. Yes. But I don't know how to say it without hurting anybody's feeling, but it's tough sometimes. It's tough.
Yeah, I can imagine. But that's what we are talking about here, like breaking those biases.
Yes.
If the industry is really caring about expertise, and then expertise you cannot find in one country or one region, like it's a global community.
Yes.
So to be successful, we need to leverage that global community, and that's what we are talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand national interests. I understand priorities, and I fully support them as well. But sometimes you need
Always a balance.
that helping hand from outside.
Definitely, there's always a balance. There is
Yes.
always a balance, and depending upon what you're talking about.
Yes.
No, that's great. So as I said before, it would be very hard to cover everything in 30, 40 minutes. So for that, we have a rapid fire round, and let's see how Mehdi responds to those rapid fire questions. Are you
Let's
ready?
go.
You have covered few of the points, but I will ask, what was your first LNG plant you worked on?
Qatar Gas.
And which train do you remember?
Qatar Gas Train 2.
Train 2, okay.
Qatar Gas 1, Train 2. Yes.
I guess one, okay, is good, very specific. What's more satisfying, a flawless startup or a perfectly executed shutdown?
A flawless startup. Nothing can beat the feeling of the very first drop.
There's a feeling of achievement.
Yes.
When you arrive at the site, nothing is working.
Yes.
Like there's nothing there, and you start to build that
Yes.
plant, and finally, when the final product comes out,
Yes.
it's a totally different feeling.
Yes. I hate shutdowns. I don't like them. Yes.
Would you rather handle a compressor trip or a customer complaint?
Compressor trip. I know what to expect.
For customer complaint, you
Yeah, you don't know.
don't know what you're going to get.
Yes. I'm lucky because I've never been in position. I've never been in a customer-facing position. So yes.
Okay. Most understated skill for success in LNG projects.
More understated.
Underrated skill, like people don't care much about it, but you think you should have that skill.
Listening.
Okay, that's a good
Listening.
one.
Yes.
And I think also I will add honesty, and that's
Yes.
that's you talked
Yes.
about,
Yes.
because you should know what you know. You
Yeah.
should
You
be
should
very
listen.
upfront.
Yeah. You should listen carefully and yes.
Yeah.
Be humble. Yes.
Be humble, asking for help. Okay, and that brings us to the last question. If LNG weren't your field, what career would you have pursued?
I would have been a doctor, I guess.
Okay, this is totally different.
Yeah, yes, I know.
Totally different.
That was my dream,
Why?
but I could not achieve that.
Okay.
And In Algeria, we have a very different selection process if you want to go to continue your higher studies. So I was not selected. My first choice, we are giving 15 choices, and they will look at the seats available across the country. So my first selection was medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, and the fourth one, believe me, this is true story. I didn't check whatever. I put something random.
Okay.
So I was not selected for medicine. I was not selected for pharmacy. I was not selected for dentistry. I was selected for the fourth choice. The fourth choice was the Algerian Petroleum Institute. And that day I cried. I cried with heavy tears because that was my dream. I wanted to become a doctor. Then I went to the LNG industry, and it was a huge success.
Can you imagine?
Thank God. Yes.
Oh, this is very interesting. Like you can plan some things and some things in God's hand.
Yes, you never know. You never know. That's why I told you I will never change anything in my life.
Whatever happens, it happens for good.
For sure.
That's great. And just one more question. Is anybody in medical field in your family? Then that's
no, nobody.
No? Okay.
I would have been the first.
So that was your personal interest.
Yes.
Okay.
I used to watch ER. You remember the show, the TV show ER?
Yeah.
I used to binge watch ER. Yes.
So Mehdi is no more in medical field, but as you know, he's part of our energy industry, and it happened by luck. But I think whatever happens, it happens for good.
Yes, absolutely.
So with that, we come end to our discussion. I really liked all the conversation, Mehdi. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And before we sign off, anything to add here to our listeners?
Yes, people are talking about alternatives to natural gas, talking about renewables. We will need all of them with different level of integration, but natural gas is here to stay. And I like to quote my very good friend, Madeleine Jody, that natural gas is not the bridge for the transition. Natural gas is the transition.
I really liked it. Natural gas is the transition, and that's the key here.
Absolutely.
So with that, I will sign off today. Keep listening, Oil and Gas Baking by Show. I will touch base with you next week. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.